This month will mark a major milestone in the history of Britain's armed forces. In just a few days' time, it'll be the 25th anniversary of the ban being lifted on gay people serving in the UK's armed forces. The ban caused widespread suffering, with thousands of service personnel forced to lead a life of secrecy, risking interrogation, surveillance, court-martial, dismissal, or even, in some cases, imprisonment. Now, many of the troops who suffered under the ban still bear the mental scars of the ordeals they were put through. A commemorative comic book was released today in which some of their stories are told. Martha Fairlie reports.
We were all in disgrace, so we all felt ashamed, and it took a long time to come to terms with what had happened and to face it. Years and years and years and years for me.
Steve Purvis was thrown out of the RAF in 1985 for having a relationship with another man.
They court-martialed me, dismissed me with disgrace, reduced me to the ranks, took away all my financial benefits, and sent me to HMP Gloucester. And it all seemed surreal. I was so angry about it all because I didn't feel it should be happening, and I thought somebody would intervene and squash it, and they didn't.
Former fighter jet pilot Flight Lieutenant Caroline Page was grounded when she revealed she was transgender.
I had this brilliant job, but I was missing my life and I needed to do something about it. I would go to work and be the person that everybody expected me to do and doing this Top Gun amazing job, but I'd go home, lock the doors, close the curtains, and then I would relax and just be myself, be Caroline. The ban was still in place, and all of the opinions were against me being in service. And they said I was a danger and a liability. And it wasn't for a short while until people started standing up for me and saying, hang on a minute, Caroline's not the one with the problem, you are. And when the first voices said that, then more joined in, and I got to believe in myself that I could have a career in the Air Force. And people started realising it wasn't about me being transgender, it was about me being able to do the job. And as long as I could do the job, that was all that mattered, really.
While homosexuality was decriminalised in 1967, the Ministry of Defence only lifted its so-called gay ban on service personnel in 2000. Over the years, hundreds of armed forces personnel faced prejudice, persecution, interrogation, and in some cases a criminal record because of their sexuality.
There we
That's
go.
me. I think that's me.
Yeah, it's a wonderful one of you.
Yeah, I look a lot more glamorous.
Summer ball.
Now Caroline and Steve's stories are being told through illustrations, commissioned for the latest edition of Coming Home, a comic that shares the mental health stories of armed forces veterans. The comic stories resonate with Olympian and former Army Sergeant Dame Kelly Holmes, who, despite being made an honorary Army Colonel, lived in fear of coming out for decades.
When I was 23, I had a raid. So what happened was the Royal Military Police came into our barracks. I hadn't long got promoted to a corporal, and I was fearful of what that might mean if they found out about me. And to be honest, that led me to lead 30-odd years of trauma, fear. I then got to know other people and other veterans that had been through situations where it was very traumatic for their life, and I didn't get the brunt of any of the really bad, vile humiliation that some did. But because I went on to have a really fruitful career and some didn't, I almost felt like survivor's guilt. It just feels like I've gone and had a wonderful career and they haven't.
For Steve and Caroline, making the comic has helped process some of what happened to them and let others understand too.
I have given to sort of family and friends copies to mull over, really, because you want to have some sort of reaction.
Has that been useful to be able to say, here you go, read this?
Yeah, it has. It has, because you then don't have to explain warts and all what happened to you. You say, well, okay, well, have a read. I'm the third story in there. Have a quick read, and then you'll know where I'm coming from and what I'm about. And yeah, I'm very proud of that.